The Seven Wonders of the World. Great creations of antiquity, meant to outlive their creators. They were built by kings and master builders who believed that stone could defeat time. But time destroyed everything, except the legends. How did ancient engineers raise gardens in the middle of deserts? How did statues and temples as tall as modern buildings appear without machines or technology? What did these structures conceal? The knowledge of gods, the mastery of humans, or the ambition of rulers? Today, only ruins, sand, and fragments of descriptions remain. Yet the less we know about them, the more mysteries endure. Each wonder is a story about people who dared to challenge nature itself and leave a mark longer than a human life.
Are you ready to remember what was once considered impossible? Then let us begin. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. One of the most astonishing wonders of the ancient world, created in the heart of scorching Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar II built massive, multi-tiered stone terraces capable of supporting the weight of hundreds of trees. Each level was filled with date palms, pomegranates, roses, cedars, and grapevines, a true green cascade rising above the city like a paradise hill in the desert. The greatest secret was the water lifting system. The Euphrates River flowed below the terraces, so Babylonian engineers designed a complex mechanism of buckets, chains, and screw-like devices that continuously raised water to the upper levels. It was one of the earliest examples of engineering far ahead of its time. Royal feasts, diplomatic meetings, and sacred rituals were held in the shade of the gardens. Ancient writers claimed that even in extreme heat, coolness reigned there, as if the gardens had their own climate. But greatness is never eternal. After the Persian conquests, the gardens gradually fell into ruin. The irrigation system stopped, the terraces collapsed, and the plants withered under the burning sun. By the 1st century BCE, only stone foundations remained buried beneath sand and time. Some historians believe the gardens were a myth, but hundreds of ancient descriptions suggest otherwise. The Colossus of Rhodes. One of the most monumental wonders of the ancient world, a symbol of freedom and victory. After the people of Rhodes repelled the siege of the Macedonian commander Demetrius Poliorcetes, they decided to immortalize their triumph. The enemy's abandoned war machines, weapons, and metals were melted down. With these materials, the sculptor Charis of Lindos created a statue of unprecedented scale. The Colossus rose more than 30 meters high, as tall as a modern 10-story building. It stood near the harbor entrance, though contrary to myth, ships did not pass between its legs. The statue was far too heavy for such a pose. Helios, the patron god of Rhodes, was depicted with rays of sunlight around his head, a cloak billowing in the wind, and a raised arm as if greeting arriving ships. The Colossus of Rhodes stood for only 56 years. An earthquake shattered it, the legs cracked, and the giant collapsed, breaking into countless bronze fragments. Legend says oracles forbade its restoration, and the fallen statue remained on the ground until the 7th century, when Arab merchants removed the bronze. Yet in human memory, the Colossus of Rhodes remains a timeless symbol of unbreakable freedom. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, Pharos. A symbol of the grandeur of the Hellenistic world, built during the reign of Ptolemy II.
Rising approximately 120 to 140 meters, it was considered the tallest structure on Earth after the pyramids. The lighthouse consisted of 3 tiers, a square base, an octagonal middle section, and a circular tower at the top. Its greatest marvel was its light. By day, enormous bronze mirrors reflected sunlight. By night, a powerful fire burned within. Roman authors wrote that its glow could be seen from up to 50 kilometers away. The lighthouse guided merchants, scholars, and travelers into the port of Alexandria, the greatest intellectual center of the ancient world. It saved thousands of ships from the dangerous reefs of the Nile Delta. Powerful earthquakes in 956, 1303, and 1323 destroyed the structure. The upper tier collapsed first, then the middle section. By the 15th century, the lighthouse lay in ruins. Later, the citadel of Qaitbay was built on its remains, and stones from the lighthouse can still be seen in its walls. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus. The greatest tomb of antiquity, built for the Carian ruler Mausolus and his wife and sister, Artemisia II. A rectangular hall stood atop a high podium, surrounded by 36 Ionic columns. Above it rose a 4-tiered stepped pyramid, crowned by a bronze quadriga, a chariot drawn by 4 horses carrying statues of Mausolus and Artemisia. The mausoleum was decorated by the finest Greek sculptors of the age, Scopas, Leochares, Timotheus, and Bryaxis. According to Pliny, its beauty was so extraordinary that the Greeks introduced a new word into the language, mausoleum. The structure stood for nearly 15 centuries, surviving empires, invasions, and fires. But a series of earthquakes in the 10th and 15th centuries destroyed its levels, collapsing the roof and columns. Today, only the foundation and fragments of sculpture remain. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, one of the most magnificent buildings of the ancient world, larger, richer, and more splendid than any temple in Greece. It rose like a forest of marble, 127 columns, each nearly 20 meters high. The temple served not only religious purposes, but also functioned as a financial, political, and cultural center. In 356 BCE, it was set ablaze by Herostratus, who sought fame through destruction. Later, it was rebuilt on an even grander scale, but earthquakes and invasions eventually led to its abandonment. Today, only a single reconstructed column remains. The statue of Zeus at Olympia, the greatest masterpiece of ancient Greek art, created by Phidias. The statue stood about 13 meters tall. Zeus sat on a throne, holding a small figure of Nike, the goddess of victory, in his right hand, and a scepter topped with an eagle in his left. The statue was so impressive that people said Phidias showed Zeus as the god himself would see him. In Roman times, it was transported to Constantinople, where it was eventually destroyed by fire. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The oldest and only surviving wonder of the ancient world. Built around 2560 BCE for Pharaoh Khufu, it originally stood 146 meters tall and was constructed from approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. The base was leveled with astonishing precision, with an error of less than 2 centimeters. The pyramid endured wars, invasions, and earthquakes. Its white limestone casing was stripped away, but even without it, the pyramid has stood for more than 4,500 years.